PK52, the Saturday morning meeting. Struggling a little bit with my voice today. 7 weeks on the road, screaming and yelling and having a good time. So my voice is going to crack just a little bit during the day. I'm really struggling this morning with bringing this message. I usually lay down a video, one take, walk away, and put it out to you guys. This is probably the 7th or 8th time that I've started this video. And it's interesting because what I want to talk about today is being a human. Walking up and having an honest conversation with somebody, face to face, body language, eye contact. And I think the further we move into this digital world, in this AI world, the less real human interaction that we have or even that we're required to have. A few weeks ago, I talked about handing your business cards out. If you're in the selling space and you sell things in order to pay for your way of life, then I think the more people that know who you are and the more people that know what you do, the bigger your opportunity is going to be. I believe that. If you don't, we're on a different page. But the more people that know what I do and the more people that know who I am, the better off I'm going to be. Because there's no product that's better than you. Selling you is the most important thing. Let me give you an example. Over 30 years, I've been in the Toyota business. If I was selling somebody a Camry or talking to somebody about the product Toyota Camry, I need to understand there's over 1,200 Toyota dealerships in the United States that also have Camrys. And I wish I knew how many used car facilities there were in the United States that had pre-owned Camrys. So it's multiple thousands of places that have the exact same thing that I'm trying to sell or market. So the only difference in any transaction would have to be me. I don't want to be average. I don't think anybody wants to be average. If you're doing something, you would like to excel. If you're doing something, you'd like to get better at it each day. I've never understood why somebody gets complacent. They get to a certain level and they just go sideways. I mean, they push their way up to this level and it was tough. It doesn't matter if it's a relationship, it's a job, it doesn't matter. You know, the first time you spoke in public, your sweat's running down your face, you're nervous, and you're afraid you're going to mess up. And then you get through that, you speak all the time. It's not a big deal. You can walk into total strangers, start a conversation. You had to push yourself to that level, and then you go sideways and flatten off. I don't know. Being able to succeed at something or go to the next level it's got to feel good. So let's talk about generational stuff. I hear all the time right now, well, the youth of today, I gotta be honest with you. If you go back to when I was a teenager, that's exactly what the older generation said about, well, the youth of today. I guess you go back to my dad's era, pre-World War II. I guarantee you, the adults in the world, well, the youth of today, and if you went 50 years into the future, I will promise you, somebody's going to say, well, the youth of today. And so it's going to change. It's going to change. This is kind of an interesting thing. I think this kind of maps out what I'm saying. The good-looking young man over there, who knows who he is, all I know is even in this photo, he's got his earbuds in. He wakes up every single morning. First thing he does, puts his earbuds in. I don't know if he's listening to music. He's waiting on the most important phone call of his life every single day, 365 days a year. All I know is he's missing stuff. He's missing conversations. He's missing opportunities because what he's doing is saying, I live in this world, but I don't want to be a part of the world. This is the world I'm in. This senior citizen right now, wow, I'm struggling today. Senior citizen right now would pay more than the multiple thousands of dollars that they've already invested in the hearing aids just to hear their grandchildren play again or to hear a song again or to not say huh or what or I didn't hear you every time somebody's trying to speak to them. So it's an interesting diatribe. Blocking out the world, wish I could hear the world again. And I'm not saying that hadn't happened in every single generation, but what I'm saying is let's go back to what I asked a few weeks ago. In the selling space, when you sell more and build a bigger client base, your results are going to be bigger. It's just the way it is. The bigger you make it, the bigger it is. So I asked everybody on a video to go out and hand out 7 business cards a day to total strangers. People that weren't even in your space. For example, if you worked in a dealership, it didn't count if you handed your business card out inside that dealership because people were in your automotive space. I'm talking about at a convenience store or at a mall. You walk up to somebody in a convenience store, is that your Chevy truck? Man, that thing is really nice. My name's KC. I sell Toyotas for a living. Hand your business card out. If you ever consider a Toyota product, I would love to take care of you. Now, the interesting thing is, what is their reaction going to be? Let's guess. Throw your business card down. I'm not interested. I'm a Chevy truck guy. You don't know. I know this, if I did that 7 days a week and I handed out 7 business cards. And let's say because math is tough at 52, let me give you 2 weeks off and just use 50. That's 2,450 business cards that I handed out to total strangers. Do you think maybe 6 months from when I started this, that I've already gauged the reaction of some people? In fact, I think you might be good enough to walk up to a total stranger and tell somebody right next to you, this guy or this gal is going to say this exact thing to me, because you see their body language, you see their eye contact, you see the way they're carrying themselves, and you already really have a good feeling about what happens when you interact with a stranger. How good are you going to be at handing out your business card with a big smile on your face and absorbing their reaction? So there's where we're going to start today. How do I become a human again? I promise you, anybody can have a conversation on your digital device, because you can start a conversation, leave for 2 hours, come back to a conversation. So it's not linear. It can be fragmented. It doesn't matter. You can put an emoji down there so somebody might know how you feel at this moment, but there's nothing hidden when you're face to face. You can't hide your emotion. Oh, you can trick some people sometimes, but you can't trick everybody all of the time. When you're face to face with eye contact and you're talking to somebody, and you need to be able to be sharing something that they're interested in to keep the conversation going, so different than your digital device or your 5,000 friends that you have on Facebook that you will never meet in your life. So I'm asking, let me finish this segment up, because I'm just being honest with you. I'm not trying to be a dad or a counselor here. I'm just saying that we need to kind of use the world of technology today in any way you see fit, but it can never take the place of human interaction. I guess in America that the divorce rate is above 50%. So somebody that you married, that you obviously deeply loved and respected, somehow during a time frame, you went away. You split. It's got to be, the majority of the situation has to be communication. Because if there was open and free communication and you were on the same page, the marriage would never end. The friendship would never end. And so we're not good at that anymore. I guess the relationship would be better living in separate houses and just texting each other every day how much we love each other. I don't know. I'm just telling you. So go back into the ancient days. Socrates. A lot of the ancient texts that were written in all religions spoke in parables. And the reason why somebody was smart enough to speak in parables way back in the day is because a parable is nothing more than speaking in open-ended questions. You'll never, ever be wrong, ever in your life. If you want to never, ever make a mistake or ever be wrong, never make a statement. Because as soon as you make a statement and take a stance on something, somebody's going to disagree with you. They may be wrong, you may be wrong, it doesn't matter. You're just going to get disagreement. You know, it doesn't matter what year in the United States you look at, there has always been split decisions. People are on different sides, and it will continue to be that way forever. And so Socrates would speak in parables. If you don't know the history of Socrates and Plato, people used to travel to have a conversation with this man. Their life had fallen apart. They were despondent. They didn't know where to turn, but somebody had told them, if you just go talk to this guy, he can give you the secret of life. That's how powerful that this person was back in the day. When you went in there and you unloaded yourself and you told Socrates all your woes and how terrible the world was, Socrates never looked at you and said, just shut up and go get a job. You know, you're an idiot. He never made those statements like that. What he did was he said, you know what? I sense this means a lot to you. Tell me more. And you'd finish a thought and maybe he would say, and? And if somebody says and to somebody else, it's just natural, they'll continue to talk. And what Socrates was famous for doing is making you work through your situation until you resolved it yourself, and then he would say, go and let it be done. And when you walked out, you said, that guy is the most brilliant person I've ever met in my life. This person has changed me. But he didn't. If you look at counselors, psychiatrists, psychologists, the greatest counselors and psychologists of the world are the ones that will listen to you session after session after session until you, on your own, make a discovery. They will move you to decisions, but they'll let you make it yourself. Because if you don't make that decision yourself, then the decision won't be final. And so what I'm saying is, in this segment today, interact with people. Put yourself in a very uncomfortable situation for the next 365 days. Walk up to total strangers, introduce yourself with eye contact, and then every time you walk away, gauge the reaction. What did you do right? What did you do wrong? Why were they upset? Why were they happy? Take a lesson in being a human. PK52, the Saturday Morning Meeting.